5 more breaths. If you can make your exhales longer than your breath in, start to do that. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. If your legs are stretched out long, rebend your knees. And then reach your arms down by your sides, palms facing down. Blink your eyes open and press through your forearms to lift your head and chest up so that you're just balanced here on your forearms, like you're lounging on the beach somewhere. Coming up a little bit at a time, start to press your palms down, sit upright, almost like you're being pulled forward from the center of your chest, and just find a cross-legged seat that's comfortable. Whatever was underneath your back, move it out to the side so that you clear your space. And then extend your 2 arms out to the side to the floor, or if you have blocks, you can put them on blocks. It just helps you set up at a right angle. Closing the eyes, feeling the after effect of that back bend, whether it was big or small. Almost like there's this wave of energy washing over you. Feeling your inhales rise up the front line of your body from the pubic bone to the navel to the sternum, up the roof of your mouth and out the crown of your head. And then the exhales descend like a wave sliding down the back of your body from the crown of your head to the back of your neck, through the curves of your spine and down to the floor again. And then staying upright exactly as you are, take one hand to your heart center and one hand to your low belly so that you feel the connection of whatever's underneath your palms along that central axis, along that plumb line that lifts you and roots you. Where your heart beats, where your belly breath rises and falls. Take a comfortable inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and exhale completely out to empty. Seal your lips and inhale slowly from the belly up to the ribs, up to the chest. Hold your breath. Open your mouth and exhale again and let it go. Again, inhale from the bottom to top, feeling your breath rise up the front line of your body. Hold your breath above the crown of your head. And then open mouth, exhale completely down to the belly where it started, like it's sliding down your back. Once more, inhale up the front of your body, all the way, rise it, hold. Open mouth, exhale, release. Good. Seal your lips with your eyes closed for one more moment, maybe choosing an intention or a mantra or a person to dedicate your energy towards. Could be a wish, could be a color. And once you have something, just something bigger than your physical practice, blink the eyes open. Good. Relax the arms by your sides and then just lean back to switch your shins, the other shin on top. Good. And then lift the arms up, lift the bottom ribs up, stretch, stretch, stretch. Turn to your right and twist. Your left hand drops to your right knee. Your right hand falls behind you somewhere. If the floor isn't comfortable, find a block again. And then turn your right shoulder to the right, but turn your head over your left shoulder. Yeah. So you're in a twist, but you're getting a neck stretch in as well. We did this last week too. Try to keep weight even in both sides of your seat, so in your left seat as well as in your right. Feel that your torso is just like a sponge being wrung out. So your stomach goes to the right, but your upper body is turned a little to the left. And then if you want to deepen it even more, you can drop your left ear to your left shoulder slightly. You might feel some stuff radiating down through your right elbow or through your right wrist. And in Yin, we're mostly holding poses in stillness, but for this one, if you want to move your nose around a little bit or open and close your jaw, see what that feels like. 10 breaths. Last 3. One more inhale. And exhale. First, turn to your right to come out of the twist. And then turn your whole body over to the left and take a little counter. Actually, we're going to do the whole thing to the left. So just bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand behind you, and turn to the left. Just go right into it. Roll your left shoulder head to the left, be in the twist, and then turn to look over your right shoulder. Yeah. So your stomach turns to the left, but your upper body twists to the right. Your chin overlooks your right shoulder. And then if it felt okay, you can kind of drop your right ear down. Maybe moving your head, neck, and nose and chin, opening and closing your jaw. Bringing out the other way. Last 5. One more inhale. Exhale, first turn to look over your left shoulder. And then let your whole body face forward out in front of you. Extend the arms up, lift the bottom ribs up. And then lean forward over your shins and make your way to a tabletop position. Clear your space again if there's stuff. Set up with your palms underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And find a couple of really slow cat-cows just to move through your spine and lubricate through those joints. Arching and rounding. Knowing that we're not going to move into a quickly moving vinyasa class. So this can be really deliberate and slow so that you feel the vertebra of your spine stack like coins, initiating from the lower body so your head lifts last, and then dropping the tail from the lower body so your chin drops last. And for the last few, maybe taking some big circles through your pelvis and through your head and neck. It's moving your body in any shape that it might not have been in yet today or in a while. Other direction if you're circling. Yeah. And then come back to neutral. Clench your palms, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back into a dog, just to open up the backs of your knees. Again, staying with this more grounded energy. So really feel the heels of your feet descend to the floor. Press your thumb mounds forward and down into the earth. The pelvis is lifted, the tailbone and the butt bones tilting towards the sky, but focusing on this lower energy, lower to the ground. Holding still, little bend of the knees so that half of the back of your knee stretches to the floor, but half of the back of your knee lifts to the sky. Bottom ribs in towards your spine. Notice if they jut out. And then looking forward without taking a down dog split, just look forward and step your right foot outside of your right hand. So I'll show you from the side. It looks like this. Your hands are inside of your right leg on the floor. And then turn your right toes out to the right a little bit. Yeah, I'll turn this way. Turn your right toes out to the right. Your right hand is on the floor. And then if you have a block, you can actually put your blocks underneath your hands. Both hands are inside of your foot. And then take your right hand to your right knee. Yeah. And press the thigh, your whole right thigh, forward and to the right to turn. Yeah. If your left hand is still down on the floor, it looks like this. And then you can keep your hand on your knee, turning to look up, just turning like this. Or if you want to lift your arm, you can, holding maybe the back of your head. But since we'll be here for like 2 minutes, I would maybe stay with the hand on the knee. And then for the last couple of breaths, you can deepen it. But if you feel super comfortable to lift, go ahead. So you should feel this, of course, in the front of your right or your left thigh, but also in your right groin. And you can even let your toes kind of fan your inner arch of your right foot lift up and really get into that groin. Yeah. So you kind of balance on the outer blade of your right foot. Exactly. Only real thing to be mindful here is that you don't go too deep. So if you feel like you're just dumping your weight into your low back and it's crunching, or into the front of your left thigh, lift your hips up a little bit higher. Yeah. Focusing on the twist. You can also, I'm showing how to use a block as a boundary. If you want to wedge a block in front of your left thigh, you can kind of lean your thigh forward into the block so you know you don't go too deep, and then focus more on the groin. About another minute here, so if you want to play with lifting your arm up for the last 10 breaths, go for it. Three more inhales and long exhales. One breath in. And then out. Return both hands to the floor inside of your foot. Move blocks out of the way if you had them. And then heel toe your right foot all the way over to your left thumb and drop your shin down for pigeon. Yeah, really getting into the hips today. And then again, this is a great place for props, especially in these yin classes where we're holding the poses for a while. So if you have something, a blanket or a pillow that you can put underneath your pelvis, do that. If your pelvis easily finds the floor, then you're fine. And then a couple of options with pigeon. At first, if you want to just come down center, go down center. You can use your blocks underneath your chest and forehead. I have it set up so it kind of hits me here and here. one in the middle of your chest and one on the forehead. If you only have one block, put it wherever feels right, wherever you need it most. If you need it under your hip or your chest or your forehead. And then come down. And then halfway through, I'll give you the option to find a shoulder stretch, a shoulder twist within pigeon. So first, just come down center and stay supported by the blocks. Or whatever you have, if not a block, pillows, wedge blankets. Yeah. And then close your eyes and let your body be held. Ten more breaths in this center pigeon, and then I'll offer the twist. Last 3. One more inhale. And exhale. Come up for a second just so you can see. Come up and look forward. And then stay where you are, but I'm going to show you what the arms do. So you're in your pigeon pose with your right shin in front of you. And then to twist, imagine that my body's on the floor, my forehead's on the floor. You're going to reach your left arm to the right, grab your wrists, or even just whip your fingers around your webbing and stretch both arms to the right. So when you come down, you're turning your arms to the right and twisting. Let me try to turn my screen down a little more. So it looks like this in your pigeon. And this might be too much, so then you stay with the center pigeon. But optional twist is here. And yeah, Max is doing a half bind. That's fun. If you wanted to do that, you would still reach your left hand to the right, but reach your right hand around the body to half bind. But again, it's about sustainability. Let your left ear rest on your left bicep, or even put your block underneath your head here. 10 breaths. One more inhale. And then exhale. Looking forward, slide your right palm in to press yourself upright. Yeah. And then to come out of this, lean into your right hip and then sit on your butt. You'll be facing a new direction now so that you're on your mat like I am, facing the side of the room. Your left leg is long onto the mat, straight out to the side. And you're coming into like a Janu Shirsasana, so bring the sole of your right foot inside of the left inner groin. And this is a place you could put the blanket again underneath your seat or prop of any kind. Yeah. And then bend the left knee a little bit. And you're gonna lay your left arm, your left forearm to the inside of your leg. And in any of these poses, I'll keep telling you, please build the floor up for you. So if your forearm isn't touching the floor, put a block there or a pillow or a blanket there. Let your forearm touch something. And then right hand comes to your right thigh. You're pressing the right thigh bone down as much as you press your left forearm down. The right thigh bone descends to the ground, and your left forearm pushes into your inner left leg to twist, just like in that first lunge we did. So you're turning your lungs to the sky. And again, we'll be here for a while, so maybe you stay here with the hand down, and for the last minute, you can lift your arm over your head, unless you're ready to just go for it now. It feels really good for me just to stretch my lungs so I can get a deeper breath. But if this is not giving you a deeper breath, start lower. You can also bend the left elbow and put your head in your hands, which I'm gonna do. Yeah. Who needs to hold their own head up all the time? Beautiful, Joanna, in the sunset. Turning, looking up. And you start with the left knee bent, just to be mindful that you don't hyperlock the knee out. But if you feel like it's okay to let the knee drop a little closer to the floor, go ahead. You can even interlace all 10 of your fingers and slide the hands behind your head and just hold your head up like this. Yes, Jake. And with that variation, good, Dana. It's the elbow that now is stretching away from your right hip. The right elbow pulls away from the right hip, exactly. One more minute, any arm variations. Three more. One more breath in. And then out. Let your right arm release first and lift you up, right? Oh, take it slow. Extend your right leg out so now both legs are in a straddle. And just shake it out for a moment. Sitting up on something again here is good because we're just going to fold symmetrically forward into this dragonfly pose, which is a wide-legged forward seated bend. So either just come down to your forearms or prop yourself up in some way. Put your forehead on a block or a bunch of blocks. This can look like this. Exactly. Really good. Yeah, the forearms or your forehead on something. last 5 breaths. One more inhale. And then exhale to come out of it. Look forward first. And then crawl your hands back. Slide your legs together. Bend your knees into your chest and just hug yourself into a ball. Maybe even your knees fit into your eye sockets. Good, lift your head up. Turn your whole body and your knees to the right just to make your way back to down dog. Almost through a little bit of a lazy pigeon. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back. Clear your space if you need to. And feel the difference in your body right now in your right side versus your left. Bending the knees, sticking your butt way up, but dropping the heels of your feet down. Palms like suction cups on your mat forward. Lungs back to your thighs and the thighs back to the back wall. And then looking forward, lunge your left foot to the outside of your left palm. Good. Drop your right knee down and your hands are, just like we started on the right side, the hands are now inside of your left foot on the floor or blocks. Turn your left toes out to the left. If you want, they can even kind of lift the arch of the foot up when we twist. Bring your left hand to your left knee and turn and turn and turn to the left. Turn, turn, turn. Starting here with your hand on your knee. And then if you want to lift your left arm up, you can. And the right hand, if you only have one block, the right hand could be on a block. It's a great place for it. Twisting from the low belly so the rest of your body follows. Yeah, I'll turn this way so you can see. Exactly. And then if you use the block as a helpful boundary last time, it's like this, leaning in towards your thigh bone, leaning your right thigh forward into the block, turning still to the left so that you feel this stretch in the front of your right psoas, but it's not going too deep to where your whole pelvis is dropping and you're crunching in your low back. You want to be lifted enough. Yeah. Turning and rotating. That looks beautiful, Josh. Another minute. If you want to extend the arm all the way, go ahead. Last 3. One more inhale. And exhale. Both hands down to the inside of your left foot. Move your blocks out of the way if they were there. And then heel toe your left foot over to the right and make your way into pigeon pose. Using your props however you want on this side. Going down center at first before the twist. But Maybe placing a blanket or something underneath the pelvis. Blocks can go underneath the forehead and chest, again, like the letter T, one right in the center of your chest, one at the forehead. If you have one block, probably just at the forehead or just at the hips. And then come down straight so that your torso is symmetrical to the coming down to the floor. Unclenching the jaw and letting yourself be held, noticing the differences in each side, if either side felt more or less of a sensation. Exactly. Feeling the breath in the back of your body, in the back of your lungs, like the shell of your back is opening up. It's almost cracking wide open to give you that deep breath. Last 5 breaths in this pigeon, and then we'll come into that shoulder twist. One inhale. Exhale. Look forward just to lift yourself upright. Now your right arm is going to reach to the left, so I'll show you facing front. You're still in your pigeon pose. Your right arm on the floor reaches to the left. You're grabbing your hand with your left hand and pulling your upper body to the left. I'll tilt down. Yeah. So your right arm reaches to the left. Ignore my shin, that's up the wall. And just reach the arms over to the left. Right ear is now to the ground or to a block. And if you did that half bind, your left arm reaches around you, but there's already so much going on. Last 5 breaths. One more inhale. And exhale. Bring your left hand to the floor by your face. and push it to the ground to unravel yourself upright. Good. And then to come out of this again, this time you're going to lean into your left hip and extend your right leg around. And if that makes you face away from your computer, just turn your whole body around to face me again. But now your right leg will be straight out and your left foot will be on the inside of your right thigh. Sitting up on something if you want. Yes. And then bend the right knee a bit. Just to start, bring the right forearm to the ground or on something inside of your right leg on the ground so that your forearm touches something. And bring your left hand to the left thigh bone, really pressing your left thigh bone into the earth. And then press your right forearm to the ground and the outer arm into the inner thigh to turn and to twist. Staying here, or if you liked it, holding your own head in your hands, maybe lifting your left arm, maybe interlacing all 10 fingers and just holding your own head with your left shoulder, with your left elbow leading the way. Then your right leg can eventually start to get longer, maybe not super straight because you want to keep a little bend of the knee just to protect it. And there's a piece of you turning to look under your left armpit. Ten breaths. Last 3. One more inhale. Exhale, let the left arm lift you all the way up. Move the block or whatever was inside of your leg out of the way. And then bring your feet together and your knees apart for butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. Have your feet about a little more than a foot away from your pelvis. So there's really space here. Your heels aren't so close to your pelvis. You want space so that you target the whole hip, not just the groin, not just the outer, but the whole area. And then hold the ankles and pull the ankles in towards you to prop the chest up higher. And then lean forward any amount, maybe coming down to your forearms, maybe putting your forearms on something, maybe putting your forehead on blocks. Finding symmetry in the fold. If you don't have blocks, you can be like a kid watching TV and bend the elbows and hold your chin like this. 5 long breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale. Look up. Walk the hands back. Hug your knees in towards you, closing them like a book. Give yourself a squeeze. And then turn to either side and lie down on your back. And then finishing with a supported bridge pose. So we started in the supported back bend with something behind your chest. Now something is going to go at your low back. So if you have a block, slide your block underneath the low back, any height, 1 block, 2 blocks. And if you don't have a block, it's a pillow or a blanket, and it's just a more restorative place, but your hips will still be elevated. And then your legs can stay bent, or you can extend them straight. The hands can go wherever is comfortable on your body. So you're lying down, and there's something at your low back. And people often ask if it's supposed to be on your butt or your back, and it's kind of both. So it's right at the sacral plate, so right at that hard, flat triangle bone at the base of your spine. That's where the center of your block should be. So it's a little bit on your butt and a little bit on your low back, but the most of your back is free of the block. And if you had nothing to put underneath your pelvis, again, it's just your hips on the floor, feet wide, knees together, arms wherever is comfortable. If you have something, great. A little over a minute left here. Five breaths. Take one more breath in. And then turn your feet to the floor. Look up towards the ceiling. Lift your pelvis up off of the blocker blankets or whatever was underneath you, and move it out of the way to come down. And if your pelvis was up high on something, just take a moment to tap it out. Really just lifting and dropping your hips to the ground. And then keep your feet to the ground, hips distance. And just as a counter pose, lift your right leg straight up into the air and interlace your hands behind your right thigh so that it's not even so much a hamstring stretch. It just helps to neutralize your spine back in place. So You're kicking the heel of your foot up, pulling the thigh bone down, and sliding the back of your skull smoother. And then switch, bend the right knee, drop the foot, lift your left leg up, interlace your hands behind your left thigh, maybe switching the interlace so that your other thumb is on top. Kicking up through the heel, rooting down through the thigh bone. Back of your skull nice and smooth. And then drop your left foot down. Shift your hips a little bit to the right. Let your knees drop to the left and twist, maybe opening up the right arm and gazing over your right shoulder. Knees to the left, twist to the right. You can put your knees on a prop. Yeah, I think Jake's doing it. You can kind of cross your legs like eagle pose. Right leg on top. Ten breaths. Three. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly come up. Bring your feet back to the ground. Shift your hips to the left. Let your knees drop to the right. Either stacked, like I have them here. Opening up your left arm as you twist to the left. You can also hold your knees with your right hand. Or if you liked that other variation, you cross your legs like Garudasana, eagle pose, left leg on top of right, and then twist this way again, twist to the left. Knees right, twist left. Ten breaths. Last three. One inhale. And then exhale, look up. Plant your feet down, hips distance, your hips back to the middle of your mat. And then seal it with happy baby. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Drawing the heels up, but thigh bones down symmetrically. Maybe extending one leg and the other, or both of your legs. Lengthening the tailbone down so that the low back stays neutral. And then keep your legs wide as you extend them into Shavasana. into this like starfish shape. So your legs are wide and your arms are wide, and you're just taking up space here. If you want to put a blanket or anything over your body or a pillow behind your head, you can, but find your Shavasana with the arms and legs out into a big X shape. Bones like liquid heavying into the floor. Palms facing up with the fingers curling in naturally. Sponging up the air around you and the sensations that you're feeling in the body. Tuning into the sensations of your breath wherever you feel them the most. Belly, ribs, chest, throat, nose, maybe somewhere else. Just breathing in, just breathing out. Slowly coming back into your body, into your room. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle fingers and toes, rock your head side to side. Take a stretch like you're just waking up for the day. Point your toes forward, reach your arms back. Bend your knees into your chest. Roll over to your left side, your moon side, your yin side. And take a moment here, reminding yourself of your intention and of whatever it was you brought into this space. And press your right palm down to sit yourself upright. One hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, just as we begin, eyes soft or closed. Heart beating, belly rising and falling. Open your mouth, exhale out to empty. Seal your lips and inhale up the front of the body, all the way to the crown of your head. Hold your breath. Open your mouth and exhale down the back body. Hold your breath at the bottom. And then again, inhale up the front of your body for springtime, rising all the way up. Hold it at the crown of your head for summer and the ripeness and abundance of fruit. Open your mouth, exhale down your back for autumn leaves falling down the spine. And hold your breath at empty below the pelvis for the barrenness of winter. Take a normal breath in and a normal breath out. Namaste.